I have a silly topic.
Okay. All right.
And by now, everyone knows it because it's in the title. I don't know why we act like this is a big reveal every time.
Okay.
But and then you said you have a dense topic.
Yeah, and just because I went down so many different avenues with this topic, and that may or may not be the best decision because it means I just have my fingers in a lot of different pies today.
Are you going like a little bit like conspiracy theorist?
No, but there were so many things that were interesting and I couldn't stop myself. So I talked about like all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, but like a sampling.
Okay. I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm talking to you about pumpkin spice. I don't know why I just jumped out there. For some reason, you didn't tell me yet what you're doing.
You generally go first. We're just following our deep set routine. I'm excited about that, actually. I do not know for certain, as I'm sure there are variations in different, like, I make it this way kind of pumpkin spices, but I'm curious to know what exactly is in pumpkin spice in its entirety.
Yeah.
You know, we talking a little nutmeg, talking a little cinnamon. So
we might be.
I'm excited to,
maybe
excited.
It will surprise you.
And using pumpkin spice blend in magic. I've never thought about that before. That could be really fun.
Yeah. Fun. Whoa. Pumpkin spice day.
Okay.
Pumpkin spice. Tell me what you're talking about.
I'm talking about toads.
Hell yeah!
We won't be able to use that audio. I know how badly that it blew you out just by hearing the diminishment in my headphones. It's just like, there's no way I can fix that.
It's fine. I just got so excited. The spirit moved me.
Well, and it's because I almost stepped on a little toad. I didn't, but the little top of my toe pad landed on his little back, and it felt all soft and like fleshy. Gross. And it was just a tiny baby toad. And I was just like, whoa, little toad, because it had already crossed my path once, and it was crossing back again. And I was gonna talk about a spider because I had this.
God.
Did I tell you about the spider incident?
You sent me a video. That thing was banging.
Dude.
That thing was racking out.
I've never had anything like that happen.
Can you
I've
tell
never
the
seen anything like that happen.
Quick?
I'm going to tell it so abridged because I was originally going to talk about spiders, but then I thought about it and I was like, if I talk about a spider again so soon, I feel like after the last time I talked about it, people are going to start leaving us. But I was intending to talk about. Yeah. Those big black and yellow garden spiders. That's what we call them here. Like, they've got the zigzag web that they sit on. They get fucking huge.
They look like Scolatrias from fucking...
They do look like Scolatrias. They're awesome. And they have the split legs, like the two on the top, kind of like they have them like to where they like point upwards and downwards, like the upper four and the lower four.
Leg formation of spiders.
And very shiny. They're very glossy, which to me are the freakiest spiders. And I am still very much...
They get angry?
They get defensive. I have never seen this before. And I'm still a long way to go in my arachnophobia journey. So this tested me. This was hard. And so I opened the back door to go onto the screened-in porch because it's to feed Dante. And of course, as every single time I have to deal with a giant insect or bug or spider or anything, Hunter's gone. And he can't deal with it. I have to deal with it. It's like a personal fucking quest.
Challenge.
And so it is. And it felt like one. And so I open the door to go feed Dante, and I promptly fling his little scoop of food everywhere. Because in my face, apparently, and I don't know how Hunter just waltzed past this thing. I guess he was just so excited to go fishing. He just had his eyes on the prize,
Yeah.
But I opened the door.
Maybe he's trying to help you in your journey. Maybe he saw it and he was like, that'll be good for her.
I sent him the video and he just sent back, I don't know how I missed that. And I was like, me fucking either. Because I opened the door and this thing is like face height right there. And like, y'all, these guys get big. These garden spiders get big. And this gal is healthy. And she has strung webs across the door like a goddamn Halloween decoration and is in my face. And so food goes everywhere. And I had to rush past her just as instinct because closing the door seemed worse. And so I just kept moving forward and got a sight of it. And then I was like, fuck, now I have to like go back inside. And so this started this whole storyline of me being like forgetting she was there because my brain would block it out until I had to reopen the door, see her again, flip out, and deal with this all over again. And then the last time this happened, this was the third and final time. I was about to go for a walk in the woods. And it might seem like overkill, but I always bring a hip knife when I go walk in the woods, just because people let their fucking like crazy like packs of dogs and shit walk. It's just, I don't like the idea.
Two bulls just kind of walk up on your property.
Which it's just, we've just had a lot of feral animals of people, because that's a common thing in the country for people to just like dump animals and then they get starving and feral. And so I just bring something that wouldn't probably have to kill anything, but it's like, listen, if I have to give you a little poke, you're going to run away from this, you know? And I didn't have my knife on. I was like, fuck. And then I look back and she's on the door. And I'm like, oh, no. And at this point, I had exited that, and I was on the screened-in porch at first. And for the first time, because she was sick of me. She was sick of me by this point, because I'd opened this was the third time I had opened and shut the door, and she was now living there. And I kept breaking her webs, and she'd keep remaking them. And I turned to look at her, and I was still on the screened-in porch, and she started the shaking. And it broke every bit of progress that I've made in my spider journey, dude. It was a game changer. And I was just looking at her do it. And then like I took a step closer, and that was when I sent you that video. And you can see at the end of the video, she ramps it up because I take one more step closer. And I've never seen a spider the size of my fucking palm, as you said, fucking rocking out. Because that's what it looks like.
It looks like somebody, you know what it looks like? It looks like that part in Lord of the Rings where Frodo gets stuck inside of Shelob's web and he tries to get a sword and he's trying to get out. That's what it looks like.
She was so aggressive. And I was looking at her and I was like, I'm going to have to relocate you. You can't live here. Obviously, this is an issue. And so by this point, I'd walked out into the decking and I was really trying to get my wits together. And I was like, fuck. Like, okay, all right, we're going to have to move the spider. If I'm going to go for a walk, we're going to have to move this spider. That's like the trade-off, because I want to get my shit, and I can't go inside without irritating this ginormous ass spider again. I'm going to have to move her. So I took 5 minutes making that decision, just standing frozen, dude. Complete freeze, just standing on my porch, staring glazed into the woods, just processing this. And then I was like, okay. And so I go into the screened-in porch, and I look at her, and she starts shaking on her web. And I'm frozen again for 5 more minutes, just staring at her like, and I'm covered. I feel at this point, it is such an anxiety response. I feel like my crown is wanting to open up like a banana peel, but like with creepy freezing feelings. Like it was, my whole body was like, why are you doing this?
Your skin was trying to get away. Yeah.
But it was like, I could not, I was going to have to go back into my house at some point. Like I have to get back inside and I can't keep fucking with this spider because she's just going to get angrier and angrier at me. And I'm not okay with that.
I love that like she's just
scary
getting fed the fuck up with you.
She is. And I feel bad for her, you know? And so, all right, I'm standing there and I've made another 5 frozen minutes of being like, okay. And I decided in my frozen 5 minutes, I'm going to pick up the big response. The big deck brush. We have like a big deck brush that we use for leaves and whatnot. And when we like scrub all of the decking, it's big. It's like one of those big ones, you know? And it's got a long stick on it.
Are you telling me that after all of this, after all of these stories and all of these happenings and all of the fucking debate and talk, you still haven't gotten the bug grabber?
No. But bro, I don't think she would have laughed at the bug grabber. There's no fucking way. She was huge. She would have extended all of her legs out at once and opened it up. Like there's no way. And
she would have caught you inside of it.
So I'd spent a collective probably 10 minutes in freeze response in two different parts of the porch at this point.
Great.
I've chosen my tool of choice. It's the deck brush, and it's by my feet, and I pick it up. And here's the problem, because the core issue of all of this is I'm barefoot. It makes it so much worse. It changes the whole psychological aspect of dealing with this spider. The whole time, all I could think of was, I wish I had my boots on. Can't tell you why, but it was just all I could think about, because it's like, if she falls and crawls across my fucking feet, I'm going to black out. I'm going to black out. I don't think I'm going to handle it, because I'm already like redlining at this point. And I pick up the broom. She's shaking. And I take another 5 minutes at least, holding this broom, looking at her, planning. Like, okay, I just got to walk up forward. I'm going to turn this broom on its side. I'm going to lift her up onto it. Hope that she doesn't immediately crawl down the pole to my hands. And
yeah. Oh, just fast as fuck, boy. Just.
Oh, but dude, you know what the most interesting thing was? So I finally just in my brain was like, now. It's got to be now. It's got to be now, because I'm going to have to do this no matter what. And I just started forward. I hooked her off the door. She was fine. But what the interesting part, the moment of walking to the door, hooking her off of her web and carrying her off to like where she could crawl off, was so chill. Mm. It was so calm, and like everything came together. But then the moment I saw her crawl off of that broom, and I've never seen one not in a web, all spread out, how big they are on the ground, all of that calm beauty just disintegrated immediately. And I went inside, and I spent about 2 minutes just leaning against a wall, shaking against a wall, just like feeling my crown opening up like a banana peel.
Yeah, you had to go numb. You had to just fucking disconnect for a minute.
It was so intense, dude. And so then I went for a walk afterward, because I fucking earned it, and was thinking like, oh, I'll talk about a spider. And the whole time I was like, I did just talk about brown recluses not that long ago. And then I almost stepped on a toad, and I looked down and I saw this little toad, and I was like, oh, okay then. So I'm talking about toads today.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
What a sweetie. I like that he came to rescue you in your hour of need.
I mean, dude, like I'm proud of myself, but I have a headache now just recounting that story. Like she was a big angry gal, and I did what I could, but she was like a real big mommy spider, and it was intimidating.
Yeah. You should put that video up on Facebook.
I probably will. I'll post it in the coven. We hadn't hit our porch with a web brush in like a month, and living down in a creek bed, if we don't do that, it looks like we live in a swamp cabin.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll put it up in the I'll put it up in the coven. I don't really give a shit.
Patreon content.
Yeah, like it's like I was rewatching the video. Because it's been so fucking hot, dude. Like the last thing I want to do when it's 105 degrees is go sweep goddamn webs out of my deck porch that's full of wasps right now. And so I've just not, but I did. I watched that video, and it was kind of like one of those things, you know, when you see something in video, you're like, oh God, I've got to get on that.
It's kind of like listening to yourself when you do a podcast. You're like, do I really fucking say all this much?
Yeah. Do I say, as much as I fucking obviously say, wow. Because I caught that in Cushiel's Dart. Like that was one that I've never noticed before until re-listening to the Cushiel's Dart simp cap. I was like, holy shit, I say that constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
it helps, I haven't really picked up on that.
Good.
Like from an outside, well, I was going to say from an outsider's, I guess I'm not an outsider, but you know what I mean? Wow. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about toads. I love toads. Toads are little sweeties. I will freak out if one jumps on me.
Oh, I like a little toad. They're soft. I mean, okay, we're going to get into the reasons of maybe why you shouldn't handle a bunch of toads and things like that. But because they can make some people have reactions. But I think toads are so cute. They're such little chonkers. I love their big, empty, glossy black eyeballs and their little turned down mouths. I just think they are portly portly and precious. I just love them to death.
Full of nothing. Thinking about snacks all the time.
Thinking about snatching them bugs out of the air, bro. That's all they care about. And they help us in that regard.
Only snack.
Yeah, their head is too busy being full of their fucking long tongue to think about anything else.
One of my favorite things is to watch like fail videos of frogs. It started when I came across a video on YouTube called like fuck, I forget. I wish I could. Maybe I'll find it and link it. But it was like the most ill-equipped a failure of evolution or something like that. But it's this one toad that it's just amazing. It's amazing that it is still alive. Like, first of all, can't catch shit. Also, when it jumps, it doesn't have like a certain thing on the inside of its body. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's like some kind of thing to keep it afloat and like have it know where it's going. So it just sort of wildly jumps into the ether and like lands on its face every single time.
Isn't that good?
And they play these slow motion clips of this little fucker just failing to do anything, and it's the sweetest, and I love it. But I'll see if I can find it. Speaking of videos, I came across a couple of like pumpkin spice defense videos, right? And we've talked about this. God, Macy, I think it was like
it's like one of our fourth, fifth, sixth episodes.
Yeah,
like way back.
On.
Yeah,
we had a session of bitching talking about why all the hate, you know, and
let people have their thing.
Let people have their thing, you know, and our general distaste for basic when it's, you know, used in a serious term, because like jokingly, I think it's fine. It's just, you know, it's all fun and games and whatever. Be like, oh, it's kind of, you know, I do you know the roll for sandwich guy?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's this little cutie, and he has this series called Roll for Sandwich, and he basically has a set of dice, and he roll for bread. 1 through 6, rolls a d6. It's like all these different choices for bread. Okay, right?
You build your sandwich by the roll of the dice.
Yeah. And there's some wild, you know, it can get wild and gross. However, he had one the other day where it was this pretty normal sandwich, and he had tomatoes on it. But then he does this thing called wild magic, which is like kind of a rando ingredient. And he got pumpkin spice. So he like sprinkled it with the pumpkin spice, and he's like, that's a little weird, but at least it'll cut the acidity of the tomatoes, because tomatoes are acid and pumpkin spice is basic. And he just said it like very flat like that. And I was like, that's funny. That's an okay. Yeah. That's a pass. But just the rampant hating on, and then I think it even like gets into like weird sexism, but like we won't have to go there. But like, anyway,
but we all know it.
But we all know, you know, hopefully. But anyway, I'm not here to rehash that, although my blood is starting to tingle. I did come across a video of someone, or actually I think we've probably all seen something like this at some point. I've seen a few of them now. That's like the ingredients in pumpkin spice is like clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. These are all things that keep away negativity and evil, so keep that in mind the next time you hear someone say they don't like it, you know.
Just be drinking your pumpkin spice, looking at them and being like, oh, I bet you don't.
Yeah. Just, I have a protective aura against demons. And I think probably, and that's kind of, I don't know, I've just seen more defense for pumpkin spice this year than I have in a long time. And I was like, you know what? Let's strike while this iron's hot. Let's jump on that content train.
And sometimes you just need to lean in to something of a new season. Like after what we have been through with the summer that we have had, like, we have really been put through actual fucking hell. Like, the trees are dying from what we have been through. Like, 45 fucking days at, like, 105 with no rain. Yeah. We have
not
boiled.
Losing their leaves, dying. Like, you know how
they're just dying.
Locally like, say dying. But
we have lost so many this year.
Yeah.
So many. And it's just nuts. And so it's like, if I want to put on a motherfucking chunky sweater even when it's still 85 degrees and drink a goddamn pumpkin spice, even though I don't always love pumpkin spice that much, I'm gonna fucking do it because it's saying we made it. We're close. You know, like this hellishness is over. And it's like, that's a whole other element. It's like, sometimes it's just about being excited that it's fucking fall. you know, and it's just one of the harbingers of fall is that pumpkin spice taste. And I'll usually have one or two, and I'm like, that was pretty delicious. And then I'll move on. But you best believe I'm having me like them preemptive early fall pumpkin spices. It's just part of it for me.
And that's the thing for me is it is always an early decision because to me it is much less the reveling in the taste because when it comes to seasonal treats, I am much more a peppermint girly than I am a pumpkin spice girly. But I also think that pumpkin spice is so broad, and we'll get into that, like in its mixture, like if you're making it at home and even the differences between each like brand.
Yes, there are big differences with that. Huge
differences. And I guess, you know what, we can go ahead and jump in since we're kind of already there, if that's okay with you.
Are you going to, do we have a patron?
We do! Today's Patreon, the pumpkin spice Patreon, the Patreon toad, is indeed. Well, depending on how you feel about toads. I would love to be.
Toads are great. Toads are beautiful.
Is dedicated to this episode. It's for you. Kyla P.
Okay.
Sing a song about pumpkin spice.
I know what we're doing. I just I gotta stick it in. What was it? Kyla P?
Kyla P.
Okay. And I promise you, I will treat you well, my sweet angel, Kyla P.
Oh my God, the toadies.
Do you wanna die?
Oh. Do you wanna die?
So fucking good. So goddamn good.
If you guys have not put on Possum Kingdom by the Toadies, listen, you gotta be into like 90s grunge-esque, I guess. The whole album, Rubberneck by the Toadies, is fucking oops all bangers, first of all.
It's good. Yeah.
But it's particularly Possum, put it on real loud, learn the words, scream it as loud as you can the next time you're in a car. It is so good.
Dude, it kills.
It fucking...
And you get the full range because you get the nice, like, kind of like, make up your mind, and kind of starting off low. Yeah. And then it's just him fucking
Jesus! Yeah.
Yeah, holy hell. It's so great. And is it about vampires? What's it about?
Tell me it's not about vampires. I don't care what the band says.
Yeah.
Tell me it's not about vampires.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it when he's, when he's talking about it.
Yeah.
Because
he's
talking
about
young
and beautiful forever.
Yeah. You'll stay as beautiful.
With dark hair.
Yeah.
Come on.
And soft skin. Forever. Dude, listen to Possum Kingdom. I mean, you probably already have. It's kind of a song that a ton of people know. But if you haven't listened to it in a while, throw it on again and give it a rehash.
And if you're like one of these, kids who are reliving the 90s and you weren't like really there for it and you want to live like the realness, get you like a fucking Rubberneck t-shirt. Wear that.
Yeah.
With your Gen Z.
Go
chains.
deeper. Go deeper than just wearing like the fucking like Nirvana shirt. Get you a goddamn Toadies shirt.
A Toadies shirt.
And then it's like, holy shit, that's like a deep cut.
Yeah. What's some like deep cut 90s?
I did see something the other day that was really funny to me, that they were like, you can't buy tickets for the NSYNC tour if you did not listen to them on Hit Clips. And I was like, that's exclusive, but like, it just made me think of Hit Clips. And I was like, whoa, Hit Clips.
Brother, I have seen advertisements recently for toothbrushes and maybe like lollipops too.
I remember those. I remember the toothbrushes that played the songs.
The thing is, when I'm seeing these advertised, and it's usually on like TikTok Shop or whatever, they are acting as if they are new inventions. And listen, I'm not trying to
did I tell you about the kids? The kids not knowing about the whole backstory of Nickelback? Yeah, they don't know. They don't know about the meme. They just think that... I will never forget that moment. I was talking to a really... great girl. She was talking about, she's got a great taste in music. I was listening to a playlist she had built. It was really good. And we were talking about Nickelback. And she was talking about like how they're popular now. Like her friends like are going to their shows. And I said, that's just so wild considering like the past 12 years of the attitude towards them. And she looked at me with dead seriousness and was like, what are you talking about? And I felt it was an absolute get off the road. Like immediately. I was just like, where do I start? What?
Yeah.
Shooketh. But you know what? Good for them. They're having the youth are exploring.
Good.
Good on them for it.
I'm glad for it. All right. That's all I got.
We're like 110% gonna have to put like actual content starts at timestamp because we're 30 minutes into this nonsense.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. This is one of the episodes that we're not getting any new listeners. This is for the OGs. Hi guys. All right, let's talk about pumpkin spice.
I am ready.
Ready your butthole for the pumpkin spice?
Whoa.
You can
that might burn.
It will definitely burn. Listen, so as we know, pumpkin spice, it is in modern day associated with the beginning of fall, at least here in North America. I am interested to hear from you guys outside of North America how pumpkin spice is viewed. If it exists, like, do you guys have the PSL out there, that pumpkin spice latte? Is it that big of a deal? I don't know. I assume so in the Northern Hemisphere, probably, at least to some degree. Maybe it's not like a huge deal. I assume that Starbucks is going to have the PSL probably everywhere. Who knows? Shrug. But like, I can't imagine it's like big right now in the Southern Hemisphere. Maybe I'm dumb, but anyway, it is.
It's not really what you think of. I wouldn't want to drink pumpkin spice
in like the start of summer or the start of spring, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you why other than just conditioning.
Well,
but
I can
also
tell you
pumpkins
why.
are a fall crop. A lot of these are fall.
Exactly.
Like pumpkins are a fall thing. So I mean, there is that. Didn't think about that.
Everything in pumpkin spice is very fall and winter associated because it is typically a blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, sometimes allspice, which we have done an episode on. However, it can also contain cardamom, mace, and vanilla. So there's not a real recipe there's not like a universal standard recipe for this spice blend, because at the end of the day, pumpkin spice is a spice blend with no actual pumpkin in it to be found. There's not like dried up ground pumpkin. There's not pumpkin essence. It's kind of like, pumpkin pie filling doesn't actually have pumpkin in it. It's like usually squash mixed with pumpkin spice. Excuse me. Your hair ever just randomly fall down and bump into the mic? It's pretty fun.
Not anymore, but it used to.
There's not like a set recipe. So like we talked about, there's wide range of pumpkin spice. And I mean, of course, your pumpkin spice latte is going to taste different from place to place. But also these, oh my God, just the absolute... I don't know why pap smear was the first thing that came to my mind.
Whoa.
I meant to say like absolute buttload of pumpkin spice things. But like the absolute, just tons of pumpkin spice things everywhere. Like cookies, muffins, desserts. I think it's Trader Joe's that has like a whole aisle of like pumpkin spice stuff around this time. And some of it seems pretty experimental. Sometimes you've got your classics. Like, listen to me. If you tell me, hey, this is a pumpkin spice cupcake, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what to expect. But sometimes it's like, here's a pumpkin spice gnocchi. And you're like, okay.
It would depend on the sauce. Yeah, you're like, I would really depend on the sauce there.
Yeah.
But I love a gnocchi.
Yeah. I do love a gnocchi. I'll eat anything. No, with a gnocchi. Stanley Tucci.
I thought about that the other day. Out of the depths of my brain, I just heard Stanley Tucci. And it just stayed with me. Yeah.
I think it was because it was around this time that
Anahatas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, yeah, it doesn't have any actual pumpkin in it, but it got associated with pumpkins because of, scrolling down, it has roots in Indigenous American, I wrote Indigenous American roots, but then I said roots in Indigenous American, so I almost said it has roots in Indigenous American roots. It was a real Austin Powers thing when he's like, allow myself to introduce myself. However, pumpkins being cultivated in North America for thousands of years, right? Pumpkin used in roasts and stews. Also, using what is available locally at the time. So we have things like cinnamon and nutmeg. Nutmeg was fucking huge for like early colonial America, right? Obviously before that, but like the white dudes got here and like had fucking nutmeg and it blew their sacks off because if you look at these like early American cookbooks, or what are called early American cookbooks, which is just the slander, come on, but like nutmeg is in everything. It's in everything to a disgusting degree. And I like nutmeg. I love nutmeg. I'm a nutmeg bitch. You give me that long scrapey thing and give me a nut and I'll scrape that shit on there. I'll scrape it so good. But they're putting it like in eggs and shit. And like I don't know.
They were probably just so fucking rock hard for flavor.
For some kind of flavor. But it was in everything. It just I would like to maybe start a weird nutmeg thread over on our Facebook. There's a I'm really into like historical cooking YouTube for some reason. And there's one, Townsend, I think it's Townsend's and Sons, who do like living history. And I'm a big living history nerd. But they kind of they noticed them and like their viewers were like, oh, there's nutmeg in everything. Everything has nutmeg. That they even named it like the Nutmeg Tavern when they do like these little tavern episodes. And anyway, there's a bunch of cookery books that I'd like to like plunge over. There's the weirdest nutmeg nightmare, please. Anywho, so that was obviously available here. Also the cinnamon. However, when those dudes came over here and began the colonization, they brought their own spices, but also their own like hunger for spices, you know what I mean? So instead of just like, hey, let's roast a pumpkin and put like a little cinnamon and nutmeg on it because they're complementary flavors that are available at the same time, it was like, let's take this and let's put our entire weight of cinnamon and clove into it and blast off. Because they had never tasted anything before besides water. What's the color of white? A sea water? I don't know, man.
Jeez, that sounds so bad. The thought of drinking like one, you don't need to, of course, but like the thought of having to drink seawater is so upsetting. I would not want to.
Do you think that they did it though because they were just like, wow, this tastes like something?
Probably not, because generally you don't drink the seawater.
I mean, yeah, but like for a party, like as a treat.
As a treat.
Yeah.
I just feel like getting a little dehydrated today. I don't know.
Yeah. Mix that with like do like a shot of seawater in your
put it in your marg.
Yeah. Oh. Get all of that like sunscreen and like a tourist.
Get you some good Gulf of Mexico water and put it in your margarita.
Silty.
It's got a good oil sheen on it.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
It's got dead fish bones in it, baby. Okay. So let's see. Where were we? Okay. So as cuisine evolved, pumpkin-based dishes began to become synonymous with this spice blend, leading to the term pumpkin spice, which was apparently coined in the 19th century. I couldn't find like an exact date for that, but we do have evidence of pumpkin spice going back to this time. All right. So the popularity of the pumpkin spice during like this time of year, it's not exactly a new thing. However, it has had a surge within the past like 20 years within non-food items. We're talking your candles. We're talking your Bed Bath & Beyond, like pumpkin walk to remember spice or whatever, because, you know, they always have like weird fuck off names. And what else? Room air fresheners. And what else is pumpkin spice, dude? Toothpaste?
Yeah, you do. Probably. I wouldn't
Cereals.
want it. Yeah, you do get a lot of cereals. Really, any baked good. You know what my favorite pumpkin spice thing is? Period. Like bar none. Is a pumpkin spice roll.
What's
you know, like the ones spice? That's like got the icing in the middle and it's rolled. The pinwheel ones, you know, that you cut and then you've got like the icing swirl. Like the pumpkin roll is fucking it with cream cheese icing. Tits.
I think mine is like a pumpkin spice coffee cake, but it could just be because I love coffee cake so much.
I do love a coffee cake. Yeah.
Give me that crumbly crust.
Dude, a coffee cake at like tea time at like 3 p.m. with like a good cup of tea, like black tea with milk or some coffee is rejuvenating. Yeah. You're a brand new person.
Oh, yeah. And especially, once again, around this time of year, because it is so, it brings about these elements within this, bring about warmth. And there's a depth
They're very heating.
to them.
Yeah.
They're heating. And in a way that we don't necessarily just love at the heat of summer. Listen to me. You give me like pumpkin spice something in August and I kill you.
Well, I'm still very much a novice here, but even when you look at it like Ayurvedically, like you don't generally put a bunch of heat on top of heat, especially if you're Pitta predominant, like, and you're already going to have that extra fire. Who?
Landon the Red. How quickly
I forgot. I blocked all of those fucking farmers out.
Slander.
The red, yes, Landon the Red. And so no, generally you don't want to put more heat on heat. Your focus is to cool a little bit. Now again, you get a little change in that sometimes with certain spices to help induce cooling of the body, and some spices help with digestion. But generally, like something like that, which is such a heating combo, I would think is counterintuitive when it comes to controlling the like elemental balance of fire in the body during a hot time.
Yeah. Plus, putting heat on heat. For some people, I've heard, I can't speak to it, not me or anything, give some people the shits. Just being too hot? Nah. Let me go turn on my my light switch because my computer's not charging. Give me a sec.
Oh, one of them good switches.
I keep forgetting because I'm not used to it yet. BRB. Okay. All right. So, all of that aside, the reason that we're seeing this spike, from what I can tell, is nostalgia based, because tell me that it's not a nostalgic feeling. Now, listen here, we had the birth of the PSL, the pumpkin spice latte, at least in the way that it was like a named thing. So, anyway, the PSL was introduced by Starbucks.
You're killing me with the acronym, or like the abbreviate, the 3-letter. What is that called?
Abbreviation, acronym.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I am. It's every single time I just feel myself shocked for some reason.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That was premeditated, baby. The PSL was introduced by Starbucky, S-Bucks, in 2003. So I guess happy 20th birthday. Wow. However, However, we are seeing this spike of pumpkin spice things, or at least very like fall, and even things that aren't necessarily called pumpkin spice, but it's just called like fall odor candle.
Question. So they did the pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they invented pumpkin spice.
No. They did not invent pumpkin spice. However, I just feel like when we're talking pumpkin spice,
they mass commercialized pumpkin spice in
to not
the
talk
more
about
household way, perhaps.
Yes. Because, I mean, honestly, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear pumpkin spice? For me, anyway.
That latte. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
latte.
it's back, you know.
Yeah.
Like the McRib, when you hear about it, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how I'm going to have one this time because I've completely dropped off of non-cold brew coffee, and I feel like I've got to find well, holy shit, we've got we're actually going to be talking about the perfect solution for that. Not this week, but we've got a sponsor coming up that I just realized is the solution.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
I was done with these notes, like done and dusted, and I realized that the perfect sponsor to go along with this is not this episode, but what next? Yeah, I was actually
they're coming very soon.
I was a little mad at myself.
Yeah, because this is perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But no, we've got a coffee
tuned.
spawns coming soon. And there may or may not be a little pumpkin spice roast that you can get your hands on, roasted from a friend of the show.
A friend of the show and a witch?
Yeah. And a witch. Y'all met her. Some of y'all met her up at Anahata's. So we got a whole
coffee.
bean
It's
making
even got a
beans.
witchy name. Oh, yeah.
Beans roasting beans.
Bean. Oh, my God. We should have the bean roast. Yeah, and it's like a roast. We roast each other. We just sit around and roast.
Dude, everybody can just roast us.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Yeah.
Let me have
it. Okay, listen. It's a roast, but you have to pick something that's off limits. I don't even want to tell anyone what my off limits are. It's like, okay, it's off limits, but you can't talk about this, that, or that.
Great, solid roast. Good.
It can only be a nice
roast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just compliments, please.
You know, actually, if we could just sit in some big chairs and
oh god, see,
guys...
roast me. I'm so much more comfortable being roasted than sitting in a chair being showered with compliments. That makes me want to scream.
Yeah, no. That idea actually, like, I feel like I shut my eyes and I saw the Big Bang. I was very uncomfortable. Like, I went to the beginning of time because I cringed so hard. Because I can't take a compliment. Like, and you guys know, if you've met us and if you've said anything nice to and or about us or the show, that we were just like, oh no!
Dude, I fucking bombed in front of the Newkirks. Like, I tanked.
Okay.
I folded like a cheap suit.
I didn't know if we were going to talk about it or not.
There's not much to say. And it's probably not as bad as I think it was.
Can this be a Patreon story on our next bonus episode?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Patreon, you guys, we do have a live coming up. Hold on, let me get my little calendar out here. We do have a live coming up this Friday, September 2023. It's the 22nd at 6 p.m. For our Patreons Facebook Live. But here's the thing, we're doing something a little special because the 22nd, this is the day before the fall equinox. It's the day before Mabon, I guess. Mabon. And we wanted to do something a little special. We wanted to talk about this with you guys. We're going to all together craft some type of fall ritual that we can all do, set a time, and we're going to do a little group spell with the patrons, and we're all
planning ahead for once.
Yeah, we'll get it all settled in the chat, and then that way, the next day, we will all be doing it at the same time, and we can feel that collective buzz of energy.
Yeah. I do want to say, before we scoot on, I want to say to Ruth, I know you're out there, I know that you're listening, the Newkirks loved your shawl that you made. Like, I wore it to the show. And they both commented on it and thought it was beautiful. And I wanted to tell you that, Ruth. Like, it was very, the beauty was seen. And I was just I actually, I hid in that shawl at one point when Hunter brought up the podcast, but I'm not going to get into that. I died.
Oh, we have to tell that soon.
Oh, God, I failed.
And
anyway, go on.
The funniest thing about it to me is, I believe it was Kimothy you said that pointed out that if they did go and look it up, the first episode was you talking about them.
No, I know. No, we were walking off the stage, and Hunter had just really did a sweet thing and I was too afraid. I looked at him before we even went up there and I just said Hunter, I don't know what to say. I've never experienced this before. Like meeting heroes of this level. I was like, Hunter, I can't grasp thoughts. What do I do? And so he was just like, he brought the show up, but we were walking off and I looked at him and I was like, Hunter, the first thing they're going to see is the unbinding. And I didn't even tell him. I just walked away because my brain exploded. And that was the perfect end to be like, by the way, we did like a great, or we didn't do it great, but you know, like we talked about the film on the last, no, it was great. Didn't even make that connection. Just walked away and then realized, oh no, that's the first thing they're going to see. And I just, God.
Bro, I bet it was not nearly
They were the
as bad.
sweetest. They were the sweetest people. No, probably not. But for me, I have never floundered so hard in my life. And it was a shock. Anyway.
Oh, no.
We'll get into it.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, by the 19th century, we're seeing cookbooks featuring what we know as pumpkin spice blends, or like a standardized pumpkin spice blend, meaning in recipes by the 19th century, when we're looking at the ingredients, we're no longer seeing, go and gather your cinnamon, your nutmeg, your allspice, your clove. We're just seeing half a teaspoon of pumpkin spice blend. So it's making a name for itself. And in the 20th century, which surprises me that it was this late, but in the 20th century, pre-made pumpkin spice blends hit the market. Excuse me. And today it is a quintessential flavor in North American fall cuisine. But I want to talk about the mundane uses of pumpkin spice. So, besides elevating your baked goods and your beverages, which, by the way, there's so many out there, more than the PSL. Listen, the PSL is fine and good and dandy, but listen, you ever had, like, chai tea? You ever had, like,
I do love a chai tea.
Yeah, pumpkin spice chai tea.
You're killing me every time you say PSL too, because all I hear is heading down the PCH, but it's PSL on that Malibu line, or however it goes. I need to re-listen to Bronco if I can't remember the melody of that song, but it's all I hear about is At a Time.
You're welcome. You ever put some PS inside of a hot chocolate? Perhaps a smoothie? You can add that PS to a lot of stuff. You can add it to your breakfast. Make you some. Listen, you ever had pancakes with cinnamon? Pancakes with cinnamon is titties. But
just full stop. Not even
PS.
pumpkins, but just pancakes with cinnamon.
You ever had pancakes with cinnamon, dude?
Shit, dog.
Like, elevate it with some PS. You know, put a little. You can even get that PS whipped cream. Or that PSWC, if you will, and then like put it on your pancakes, and then dust some PS on top of that PSWC.
I would also say the PSCC, which is that PS cream cheese, which is so easy to make. Whip you up some PSCC, throw that down on literally anything, and you're good to go. You said
cream cheese,
yeah.
Okay, but listen, what about that PSCC as in cheesecake?
Well, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I even saw someone make a little seasonal snack where they dusted it on top of their popcorn. And I'm like, huh. I guess if you're into like a kettle corn, like a sweet, I bet kettle corn with the PS on top of it might slap.
I've done like cinnamon on fresh popcorn, like kettle corn, and it slaps. Oh yeah,
never thought about it. I put black pepper on kettle corn, and it makes me come.
I don't do that on kettle corn. I'll do that on buttercorn. But when you open that bag and it's still moist and kind of adherable, throw some cinnamon in there, pinch the bag shut, and shake it. Slaps.
Yeah.
Really good.
You know, it just this whole time there's low key an element of like being. Excuse me, I don't want to say embarrassed or like ashamed, but like recognizing the hate for PS and that it's like this basic thing, you know, but when you break it down, what do we got? We got cinnamon. We all know, Lord and Savior, my boy, nutmeg, ginger, cloves. And I think individually we can all be like, oh, I fucking love cinnamon. I fucking love nutmeg or whatever, right? If you do. But combining it all and calling it pumpkin spice, you know, if you just changed the name of it to like, winter blend spice or something like that. It feels like it would be less hated upon. But listen, we're going to talk more mundanely. We're going to get into some health benefits of pumpkin spice blend because it carries all of the health benefits of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, clove, and then, of course, whatever else is in it. But we're starting with cinnamon, which, if you remember, regulates blood sugar and has antioxidant protection to it. Nutmeg is anti-inflammatory and supports your digestive health. Ginger can ease nausea and also has anti-inflammatory properties. Cloves are anti-inflammatory as well and rich in antioxidants, also used in dental health. If you've not, chewed on a clove to make your mouth numb, you're missing out. Have some fun. Numb your mouth out.
Get wild.
Get wild. But that can be said about the medical things. Like, as we talked about earlier, you said something about, I forget what you said. Fuck, I'm a bad podcaster. But basically, I think that pumpkin spice, it's just a healthy blend. And of course, if we're downing it in a giant sugar-filled latte, that can be something that we try to do on a very seldom basis. However, if we're eating just the spices itself to get those, not nutrients, but to get those health benefits out of it, it just feels like a healthy blend. Anything that heats up like that just reeks of health to me. It warms a cold stomach.
It's stimulating, I feel, in that regard. It is one that it could be too much. I have to watch myself with cinnamon because cinnamon irritates my cystitis. But in the right time, kind of when, when you, sometimes, again, during the right conditions, right state, it's that's what I need. Mm-hmm. It's what I need. Mm-hmm. And, cause it's a very warming, cozy blend. And I do forget that it's, you can get little pumpkin spice chai lattes, and that's probably where that's probably the avenue I'm going to be driving down soon.
Yeah. I wonder what Nicholas Culpepper would have to say about cinnamon, about pumpkin spice.
If it was any degree warmer, it would be poison.
You would burst into flames. But luckily it's not. It just warms your liver or something.
It makes the humors happy.
Yeah, it rids you of, hysteria. Metaphys. So just as you can break down the properties of each individual thing, obviously you can do so here. So think about these things individually, but then think about them like Power Rangers coming together and making the big Megatron or whatever. Megatron, that's from Power Rangers, right? Cinnamon. Cinnamon is often associated. What do we got? We got protection, love. It can be used to enhance our psychic awareness. What I like to use it for is a fucking catalyst. I use cinnamon anytime I want something to work quickly. And it's also good for prosperity. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the thing floating around about on the first of the month, blow the cinnamon in the door. You don't have to wait for the first of the month. Let me just say that, okay? If you missed it by a day or two, don't beat yourself up. Your intention is there. Go blow the cinnamon in your door. Nutmeg. Psychic abilities. Clarity of thought and divination. Ginger. Fiery energy. Increase your personal power, your passion. You can use it for a little brown chicken, brown cow magic, should you know what I mean. Cloves.
Yep.
Yeah. Just rub ginger on your bits.
I didn't know where you just said rub and paused, and I was like, bro, that forks off in 1,000 different ways.
You bet.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes
that would
I like
burn.
to pause and just let you see where your mind goes.
Yeah. Tells you a lot.
Shave the sides of a ginger down, shave the bark or the skin or whatever you call it off, and stick it up your butt.
Wow.
Cloves.
You heard it here first.
Cloves, big time protection energy, big time banishment of negative and or even evil energies. And you can also use this as a protector during divination practices. It does not have to be in its spiky form for it to be a protector and to be banishing I know that that's like the symbolism behind a lot of it is it's like a jabby, pokey thing. It's like a nail, but it still carries these properties. Allspice.
I was wondering if we were going to talk about allspice.
Yeah, yeah. Which we've
Have
done
we,
an episode on. Yes.
That was what I was wondering is I feel like we've done a full-on episode on allspice, but I feel like it was involved.
Well, I remember we talked about it because I remember that it is not... Like, I thought allspice was just like, oh, it's all of these I thought it was more of what pumpkin spice actually is. Of just like, hey, it's this blend that contains this everything in your kitchen. It's all the spices.
But wasn't it like a little berry, like a pepperette?
I believe so. I'm rolling through it right now. Here we go. Episode 118, allspice and matcha. So
I talked about maca.
Oh, matcha? Oh, maca. I got about halfway through the word.
We've never talked about matcha.
You know what's funny is I read that and I was like, Macy would definitely talk about matcha.
Well, because that was why I heard that and I was like, I've never talked about matcha. I would be the one to talk about matcha.
Do you remember when we went to Dunkin' Donuts in the Roswell? And you got that matcha, and as we were pulling through, you were like, no one cares about non-coffee drinkers.
I still stand by that sentiment.
I know, you're not wrong. I just loved the passion. Okay, cardamom.
At 6 a.m, if not earlier.
It's still dark, and you're looking at that giant alien just looking down at you with them big caked up cheeks. Cardamom.
Oh, God, clapping ass cheeks. Go ahead.
Bang, 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 bang. Cardamom. Clarity, focus. Okay, here's what I wrote in my notes. I must have not been paying attention. I wrote, cardamom is associated with clarity, focus, and mental clarity.
Great. Let myself introduce myself.
Mace. Mace is a derivative of nutmeg, so it shares some of these properties. However, mace does have a little bit more of a slant to divination and providing, like, kind of getting your mind right in that scenario. And if you have a PS that involves vanilla, then we can add in this, like, element of sweetness, love, sensuality. Vanilla is a good offering a lot of the times. A lot of these are actually good for offering a lot of the time. Let's see. What did I write? So, okay, in general, we can kind of see where these properties are overlapping into one another. So we've got protection seems to be like a big thing. Divination seems to be like a big thing. Obviously, this is going to be a big time go-to for our kitchen witches out there to involve into foods. Experiment, perhaps. If you come across something good and tasty, or if you have like a recipe that you use that PS in, and we didn't like talk about it, like chunk it over on the Facebook. Use it as offerings because, let's see, offerings of pumpkin spice foods and drinks are made to deities as a sign of respect and gratitude during the autumn season, which I am so full of respect and gratitude for the
gratitude.
Oh, baby.
My God. Damn.
And the last thing that I have for you here is that in home blessing, pumpkin spice can be a star. Because when used in rituals or spells to bless the home, it also has elements of cleansing the home. Mix it with a little bit of salt or perhaps some other herbs that you're using to like cleanse anyway. And it's also going to leave just a nice, nostalgic, fall-like, autumnal smell. A PSS, a pumpkin spice smell.
Okay. Liking all the letters.
Yeah. The end. Go home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. I realized I could have worked on my cadence there at the end, but
it's okay. We can't nail it every time, bro.
Listen.
Sometimes you get what you get.
Sometimes you scroll down the page a little bit more and you realize that's all you wrote.
That's all. The notes are gone.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. Yep.
I thought I had some like fun facts in here. I don't know where those went. I think I just incorporated them into the notes, but there you go.
I've got some fun facts for you. I've actually got a lot of fun facts.
I'm so glad. I can't wait to hear about a toad.
somebody's at least going to learn something today. You're going to learn something about these guys.
I will tell you every single time I learn something new this episode.
Okay.
About a toad.
Good to know.
Yes.
So, toads. Toads are amphibians. And in terms of their classification, you have both frogs and toads in the order Anura, which means without a tail. So they're not
Anura.
like they're not like salamanders with tails. They got the little butts, and
little toad butt.
I know. I just think they're so cute. So within the order of Anura, Anura, there are a few families of animals going on.
Like mobster families?
No, not like mobster families, even though mob frogs
That'd be so
would
cute.
be
Mob frogs? Oh my god, in their little suits?
super fresh. Yeah, come on. That'd be really cute. So you got two notable families here. You have Ranidae, which is the true frogs, and Bufonidae, which is true toads.
Great.
So toads differ most obviously from frogs because they have dry skin. They got the little bumps. They're more warty. Got little knobblies all over their bodies.
I didn't realize they were dry skinned. I learned something new.
They're not slimy. They don't shine. Like, a frog will generally be kind of glistening. A toad is kind of dusty looking. Like, they don't really look like that. And so why is their skin different? Why would they be any different than frogs? Well, there's some reasons for that. So frogs, for one, they lose moisture out of their skin very quickly. They can dry out very quickly and it can become dangerous for them, which is why you generally see frogs near watery sources. Like, it's when you see and hear them all, it's like, you think of water, you think of frogs. You think of frogs, you think of water. They're pretty synonymous. Excluding sometimes certain tree frogs. Like, I'll see tree frogs at our house, and we have some creek beds, but they're dry a lot of the time. But there's sometimes we'll just have a whole bunch of little tree frogs stuck to our windows around the house, and they're just hanging out. I love tree frogs. And so toads, while they start their lives in water, they spend their lives as terrestrial creatures. They're land dwellers, pretty much. And this is partly why they have that drier kind of skin, because they're earthy little boys. And toads also have shorter legs. So their legs are a bit shorter and stumpier versus a frog's, which can really press and lead to a really long leap. Toads are made for shorter little walk hops. They're land traversing. They're made to travel.
For walk hopping.
Oh, and that's just what they do. And they, and this is also why, because
one of these days, this
toads
toad is going to walk all over you.
Walk all over you or under you in my case. And this is kind of why, if you've ever experienced it, you can just kind of buck up on a toad and it's not going to run. It doesn't run away. It's like they know that they're not very fast, and their defense, which we're about to learn about, it kind of is built around their skin and is also an explanation for these knobblies all over them. So they have three main types of glands on their bodies. And they have mucus glands, and they have I was fixing to say, I know the word isn't glandular glands, because that's not that's not it. I know.
I hope it is.
It's granular. So the granular glands are the kind of bumps along the back, the smaller bumps along the back. And then they also have parotoid glands, and they're located kind of up at the top of the head behind the eyes a little bit. And they produce this poisonous, milky secretion.
Yeah, boy.
That can help all toads, or true toads, I should say, we'll get into that, defend itself from predators. And this substance is called bufotoxin. And we're going to talk a lot about bufotoxin today, guys. And it can cause death in small animals, allergic reactions in humans if touched, and a whole bunch of shit if it's ingested. But we're going to get into that.
Are toads the ones you lick to get high?
Yes. And yeah, we're going to talk about toad toxin ingestion today. A good deal. And it also kind of plays into their perception and history as well. It all comes together. So, that's kind of what these bumps are, the little warts, the granular glands. And like those are kind of the warts that they got going on. And then the big glands behind their heads as well are the other ones. And they make that milky substance. Gross. And apparently their mucus glands also release like a little bit of toxin too. Yeah. And this is the case for common or true toads, as they are called, because we have true frogs and true toads.
Oh, we have the Lana Del Rey ones and then the Buffa Del Reys, right?
Whoa. So I don't know what that means, but there is, I don't get that example, but. You
said their names were like the something Del Rey toad.
Oh, okay. That was a reach, but it was a Nura.
Say it again, though.
A Nura Bufo, what was their name?
Dude,
Anura Buffonidae. So Lana Del Rey Buffonidae.
Okay, tell me that doesn't sound a little bit like Lana Del Rey.
What? I didn't remember it, but okay, I'll see it. I can see it.
Can we have like a community wabah pet and name it Bufo?
Bufo.
Can that be the name of Cousin's chicken? Bufo.
I got to show you. We were sent something very sweet that I got to tell you about. I haven't told you about it yet. And so where
Sorry.
am I in here? Okay, so true toads are called this, and they're because of this bufotoxin, right? They're Buffonidae, bufotoxin. Do you see the connection? They make this stinky toxic milk that comes out of the back of their head, out of these parotid glands. And apparently, there's like other toads outside of this category. And very quickly, I was like, this is just not a rabbit hole I can chase today. There's too much. I got to stay on topic. This is supposed to be a podcast about witchcraft. I can't just talk about the different families of toads today. Good. But
I tell you, no witch out there would mind.
Probably not. And apparently, though, bufotoxin contains epinephrine.
What?
Dopamine.
Oh.
Serotonin.
Oh.
And this very tricky word, which is indolealkylamines, which is things that might be a touch hallucinogenic. And which to me, when you say it all, you rattle it off like that. I'm like, okay,
like that toad
sounds pretty fucking nice.
I'm happy and high. You kidding?
But it can really fuck you up depending on the toad, of course.
So.
And, but like in a bad way. And while you can get an allergic reaction sometimes by touching them through the skin, generally skin to skin's not going to land you in as much trouble with toads as ingestion, or like if you have a cut, I guess, and rub it on you or some shit like that, like if it's able to penetrate the barrier of the skin and get inside the body, or you ingest it.
Toads on your wounds. Okay.
Don't rub toads on your wounds. Don't suck toads, please. But
the serotonin.
There is a toad suck Arkansas. In case anybody was wondering, I remember learning about that when I went to college up there, and I was like, "What?" And there is. It's one of those small little unincorporated little towns, and it's Toad Suck, Arkansas. And it's just there's you that fact that you can have and move on with.
You think you can get fucked up and toad suck?
Get fucked up in toad suck? Yeah, you can get definitely fucked up in toad suck. I would like to say from toads, but probably meth.
Yeah. We're from the South, we can say that.
Oh, believe me, we know what these. I've never been to toad suck, but I'm assuming I've been there. You know what I mean? And
I've not been to toad suck, but I have been to Mount Pleasant, Texas. So
it's like I've seen toad suck, you know.
Yeah.
And however, toads will not give you warts. That's not true. It is bullshit.
Whoa.
And again, might have a little reaction if you touch their little bumpy bodies,
because they're poison.
But they're not going to give you warts. And it made me wonder. I was like, I wonder if the aversion, like don't touch toads, they give you warts, came from an actual belief that would happen, or it's one of those things like don't touch it because it could hurt you, but we're just going to tell you it causes warts.
Right. Yeah.
And
like
then
it's like what you tell kids, because a kid doesn't care about poison, but they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, warts. So I've never had any issues touching toads. I've handled a couple toads. We usually have a porch toad every year. I love our porch toad friends. We have a little red American toad. Apparently, I looked up pictures and it isn't a common American
I'm Googling
toad.
The red American toad right now.
Look up red American toad. Super cute. And about every year, I don't it just depends on when it shows up. But for about 2 months, we have this little red toad that sits in like the doorway to where we let the dogs out, and it catches all the bugs from the light. And he's super cute, or she's super cute. I don't know what it is. And they leave, like the dogs leave it alone, and it's so just always fat. It's just porch toad. I know. I love how fat they are.
Fat bodies.
And like the little fat arms, like the creases of like their fat little arms. I just love them.
Like baby arms.
Yes, they do. They look like baby limbs and like baby legs and shit.
Cute.
So anyway, super cute. And toads, like frogs, have a tadpole life cycle, which is an amazing process if you've never seen it before. We had a pond, tadpole life cycle, a metamorphosis. They count as having a metamorphosis life cycle.
Huh.
And if you've never seen it, it is really fascinating. We had the pond growing up, as you remember, and there were always bullfrog tadpoles in there every single year. And I was always able to catch them in the various stages of their life and watch them grow up. Now, these were frogs, of course, but they're pretty similar looking in the process. And it's just wild to see what happens with them and what they turn, like they'll have this full tadpole body for a while, and then you'll find one and it's got random like 2 legs and the tail still. And it's like 2 legs arms are sticking out of it. Yeah. And it's just, you see them changing, and then eventually the tail just sucks back into the body. I guess it disappears. They absorb it, I guess, to help. Yeah, to use the energy to grow their limbs. But like tadpoles they're just these soft, squishy things. Like I actually held one not long ago, actually, and I enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 experience. Because they feel unlike but I had it in my hand.
Did you pull like a Linny and like pet it a little too hard?
No, but I did like scoop it. It was, we had some of Hunter's family over, and it was when we got the fish that eventually cooked to death for no reason because of the shitty Texas grid. Yes. But when they were babies and we bought all of the fish, there were a couple of tadpoles that somehow got caught up in the mix.
Cute.
And so we had the little ones, like our nieces and nephew, over, and we knew that they were in there, and there was a couple of his family members there, and I just like reached in and grabbed it without thinking about it, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, we're going to look at this tadpole? Oh, sure. It's like, I didn't even think about it. It was like, oh, here, look at this.
Dude, can you imagine?
The kiddos loved it. But it was a surprise. but they feel so cool. I love how they feel.
I love the way, and I know
anyway.
this is not the same because we're not talking about this, but I love the way frog spawn looks. I love
It's
like
pretty
when people
wild.
pick it up and it's just like jiggly. Oh, baby.
So toad, you lead me in perfectly here.
Ooh.
Toad spawn is very different looking in part. It's much stranger than frog
Oh,
spawn
yeah.
because it is laid initially as two long strings of eggs, like long, like stretches out to 20 fucking feet long. But
Two
then as they
strings
sit,
of eggs.
yeah, two strings.
Oh, I
and
see
then as
it.
they
Ew, that is
sit,
weird.
As they sit, bro, they curl up like an old phone cord. Like, and for those
Ew.
listeners that are too young and don't remember what that is, you might have used those horrible hair ripping out hair ties that are the coiled up plastic. If you've ever used one of those and lost a chunk of hair because of it, that's what the eggs turn into. Did those ever work for you?
I think I used it once just to try it out because they got real big around the time I was working at Sephora and we had some there. And I just remember kind of having so much hair, because this is when I still had super long hair, that the whole thing stretched out to where it might as well not have been.
They stretch out. That was a whole other fucking thing, is they stretched out. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I was just sort of like, I'll stick with my little elastic ones.
Yeah. Every experience I had was bad. One snapped, which is always, there's nothing more irritating. It's one of my worst long hair memories is just when you're trying to put your goddamn hair up and it snaps. I don't know why. There's spark of anger it's fleeting. It's so instantaneous, but it's just like, it's like when you snag your headphones back with like corded headphones all the time. Like when you snag, you're just like,
just a moment of, yeah.
I don't know why. But anyway, their eggs coil up like that. It's super crazy looking. And they're just in the row of little eggs, but they're all twisted. And, toad tadpoles take a little bit longer to develop than frogs. I believe I saw about 4 months from egg to leaving the waters. And I wanted to talk about toad metamorphosis today because I think it's an important aspect of their magical potential. I'm always talking about how it's like the real world physical things of creatures and plants and crystals and how they're formed. I feel like it plays in to their metaphysical potential. And metamorphosis is always something that has a lot of power and potential, similar to the meaning behind butterflies and moths. And eggs can hatch apparently approximately from 3 days to 2 weeks, which seems broad, but water temperature
2 days
plays a
to 3
3
weeks.
days. Backwards, 3 days to 2 weeks, but still, like that's
still
not very long. Apparently warm water makes them hatch quicker. Cold water makes them hatch slower, which I guess makes sense. But 3 days seems soon. And the effect, after you get this hatching is a shit pile mass of these tiny little tadpoles. They're very small initially. And at the beginning, these tadpoles have gills. They have a little mouth as well as their little tail. They look like little spermies. And in these early days, they eat shit like algae. And then
why did nature make sperm so cute?
I don't know, but it really did, though. It really did. Little flagellus. And they're eating algae, little things like that. But I saw, again, a little bit of a range from 2 to 4, but also 4 to 6 weeks. We get to the next stage. You know what the next stage is? You know what the next stage is?
Tell me.
Toadlets.
Who named it? Give them a
I don't know who did
reward.
it. I don't know who did it, but they're toadlets. And these are
like baby things need to have lit at the end of it. Like
lit at the end.
baby lit.
These are
or
tiny,
human lit.
little bitty tiny miniature terrestrial little toadlets, which means they are leaving the waters. They are free of tails. They look like toads, again, in miniature, and they're ready for the world. And naturally, a lot of them get eaten because that's the way of it. Because there's 1 billion eggs. And if you've ever, I don't know, growing up in the country, there were many times that I was around many different ponds and lakes after a boom such as this, when there's a bunch of these like dime and nickel sized miniature tiny toads and frogs. everywhere. Like you can't almost stop from stepping on them. That's what this is. That's the toadlet boom. And so right after they all emerge from the water, there's just thousands of these tiny little toadlets.
It
and
sucks to drive down like a country road.
Oh, dude.
And you're going so slow and you're just cringing the whole time. You're just like, please no, please no, please no, please no.
They're everywhere. Like when they boom, they boom.
Go for it. They pop off.
But that's also why there's so many of them. Like I didn't take the statistic down, but I saw somewhere like it would not, if every single toad survived, like in the span of 5 years or something like that, the world would be so overrun with frogs. Like it would be like 15 foot deep of frogs. It was like some crazy metric. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, if they all survived, we would have a serious dramatic problem. And
if toads replace humans, that'd be okay.
I mean, at this point, anything would probably be better for us than us in the long run. So toadlets are essentially little teenagers. They are not fully grown, but they've got about the full frame. You know, they look like they're going to look, but they're not done growing yet, but they're, functional. And I think they remain toadlets until they are considered grown. I couldn't get a clear answer on that. I don't know why, of all things, that was so hard to get an answer on. But males, it seems, are grown around 2 years and start breeding then, and females take 3 years. The females are also a good bit larger than the males, like a lot larger than the males.
Okay, so when I was looking at pictures of the eggs spawn. What is it? What did we say it was? Spawn? Anyway.
Yeah.
There was plenty of pictures of what I can only assume to be frogs getting it on. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, just a tiny little boy on the back.
I thought just a little boy annoying the shit out of the big lady.
During this time, they just eat and grow as little toadlets, and they grow a lot in the first year. It tapers off after that, and they still keep growing, but that first year is pretty meteoric, it seems, in their growth. And in this first year, they use that long, stretchy, lightning fast little sticky tongue to catch bugs, sometimes upwards of 1,000 bugs a day for some species in certain times of year. And we need our toes and toads. If you have them. And so we need toads for that reason. They help to eat the things that can be pests. And this tongue moves fast. 0.07 seconds that this tongue moves, which is 5 times faster than the blink of an eye. So we can't even register it, how fast it is.
Ka-chow.
The common toad, ka-chow, can live to 10 to 12 years in the wild if lucky. Like that's getting pretty on up there. 2 to 5 years.
12?
Yes, in the wild.
Damn.
2 to 5 though is more average if they reach adulthood. But in captivity, a toad can live upwards 30 years. They can live a pretty long time. They also generally spend in the wild the cold months all buried up. They bury all up and hibernate. So they have a hibernation period that they take in especially climates that experience a notable winter. And one last little PSA before we go into the witchy stuff, and I talked about it in the tree frogs episode, but that was a while ago. A lot of amphibians are really harmed by things that are common to use in lawns and gardens and things like that, particularly like the really stout stuff like Roundup. And like really intense fertilizers that are really probably more than necessary, like when compost would maybe be better, because a lot of the things that are added into these things, like pesticides and weed killers, it absorbs through their skin. That's how they absorb a lot of things. And it can cause a whole bunch of problems. Frogs, it can really take out. Like, I mean, within like an hour. If there's like direct exposure to frogs and it hits their skin, like it's pretty devastating. But there's also problems of if you use stuff like that, again, like Roundup or some of these really like heavy, intense kind of chemically soils or fertilizers and things like that, it can wash also into waterways and slowly build up there too. So it's just good to be mindful of things like that. And if you're trying to control pests, it takes a little while, but like, I promise you, like from experience, like you eventually get this whole army of pest control that will move in if they get a chance to. Like, because with the aquaponic system, you can't even use neem oil. Like, you can't even use some stuff you can use to garden organically because it can kill the fish. You have to be so careful. And like, because of that, dude, in springtime and like going into like May and June, especially, like, it's like a whole fucking reptile house out there. Like, there's lizards and tree frogs and frogs, like all regular, like it's everywhere because like they can, and they're not getting fucking poisoned. And we don't really have pest problems. We don't have to use pesticides hardly ever because they're eating all that shit. And mantises, we get mantises all the time. I love praying mantises, dude. They're so fun. I'll just sit and watch them. They are so amazing, just how they move around. But just know, do your research on stuff that you use outside in your lawns and things like that. Even things might surprise you that can really harm our amphibians, and we need our amphibians and our ecosystems. So real quick toad facts, and talking about witchcraft, especially. So we know, or may know, maybe we don't, that toads have long been associated with the witch. And one of the common familiars kind of that you heard of back in the day, along with the similar company of black cats and dogs and bats and shit like that, you had toads.
Guillermo de la Cruz.
And, these, the familiars help to do the devil's bidding, and them toads be sucking on them teats.
Ew, I forgot about the teats. Ew.
But where did this association come from? Considering that the toad is generally a very evasive and gentle creature. They're not a problem, Well, let's talk about let's go way back to, at this point, a friend of the show.
Oh,
because I have some writings from old Pliny.
Great.
And this is way back, and it seems allegedly, so he calls them bramble frogs.
Okay.
But from what I was reading, it seems that these are toads. And this is long, guys. Like, know that this is long, but like sometimes something's so fucking wild that like I can't trim it. How am I supposed to trim this?
All right, let's do it.
So here we go. There are some frogs, again, which live only among brakes and thickets, for which reason they have received the name of retube, or bramble frogs. The Greeks call them phryni, and they are the largest in size of the frogs, have two protuberances like horns, and are full of poison. Authors quite vie with one another in relating marvelous stories about them, such, for instance, as that if they are brought into the midst of a concourse of people, silence will instantly prevail.
Excuse me?
So if you bring a frog into a whole big, I like to imagine like a shouting match, a whole bunch of people, like Parliament, and then you just walk in, two-handing a toad, and just silence. Immediate silence. But we're not
weird.
We're not done.
Very weird, Pliny.
And silence will instantly prevail. And this is one of the things I love about Pliny's writings, because we see this a lot. And like, it's not to say that I'm an expert on Pliny the Elder. I'm not. But it's just what we read in the show. A lot of it is him talking about what his friends told him. And I just think that's really funny. Like, that's what he's doing here. He's just telling stories that he's heard. But we continue. As also that by throwing into boiling water a small bone that is found in their right side, the vessel will immediately cool, and the water will refuse to boil again until it has been removed. This bone, they say, may be found by exposing a dead bramble frog to ants, letting them eat away the flesh, after which the bones must be put into the vessel, one by one. On the other hand, again, in the left side of this reptile, there is another bone. They say which, thrown into water, has the appearance of making it boil, and by the name to which is apokynon. This bone, it is said, has the property of assuaging the fury of dogs.
How is any of this scientific?
They're figuring shit out. And if put into the drink of what is this word? Oh, if put into a drink of conciliating love and ending discord and strife, worn too as an amulet, it acts as an aphrodisiac, we are told. The bone, on the contrary, which is taken from the right side, acts powerfully as a refrigerative on boiling liquids. It is said, attached to the patient in a piece of lambskin, it has the repute of assuaging malaria and other fevers.
Wow. Wow, he did it. Clap, 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 clap.
But aside from that, like, a lot of that was magical writings. Like, he's full on talking magic.
He does love to throw out the allegedly, though. You know?
Yeah,
allegedly.
And well, say that, you're safe. You know, write it down.
Yeah,
and this is magical shit. This is beyond rubbing a snake on your eyes or whatever it was he said you needed to do if you were blind. I don't remember anymore. And of course, these writings were referenced because that makes it sound very fantastical. These toad bones causing water to boil or not boil, depending on if it comes from the left or right side of the toad body. And in examining witchcraft ties further, especially coming out of Europe, we have to examine the poisonous aspect of the toad, which was well known. It didn't take long to assume, you know, the witch might use her poisonous familia that secreted toxins for nefarious means. Now, there's also a practical reason for this, which we're going to get into. But before that, we're going to talk about something less practical, because with these special bones called the toad bone,
great,
there is something called the toad stone.
Okay.
And the toad stone allegedly exists in their heads between their eyeballs. And now apparently there really isn't such a thing, but it's speculated that what if the, quote, stone was a bunch of crystallized poison that can make colors talk to you? Maybe.
Now we're fucking talking.
But in medieval Europe, you find lots of toad magic, powdered toads, dried toads, lots of things involving toads. 13th century alchemist and translator Michael Scott.
Stop it.
I know. Yeah. Scott with one T, but it's still Scott.
It's
Michael
still Scott. Come on.
And listen, Michael Scott.
Change your name.
Michael Scott be wildin' out. So, translator and alchemist Michael Scott has instructions for the fellow alchemist to prepare a powder, a dust derived from toads that brings, quote, fantastic visions. And
yeah,
it sucks for the toads. Very quickly, we learn here that generally, if you're using this toad poison, it's not fun for the toad. And core to the operation is fill in a container with living toads, like 5 or 6 grown toads, in wine and salt. And
wow,
it didn't go great for them. And I love his complete disregard for fault, because I only have a very small section of his notes here, and this is from the 13th century. But it's like, it said, instead of him drowning the toads, it says the toads poison themselves. That's how they die. They poison themselves. It's like they don't drown in a wine salt solution. They poison themselves. Thank you, Michael Scott.
It's like if somebody drowns, it's like, oh, they must have been allergic to water, man.
Yeah, fuck. It must have been I guess they weren't a witch.
Wow.
And so here's what Michael Scott says about his murdered psychedelic toad juice. So, the resultant dust does wonders and cannot help to. It transmutes everything into perfect clarity, as the clarity of the moon. It completely changes the perspective, as Mars is said to do.
Okay,
If you have
spoken like a true stoner.
If you have imbibed the dust at a measurement of 3.2, don't know what that means, and drink based on your own Well, there was like 30,000 bits and notes on how to exactly prepare this beforehand, and I skipped all of it.
I'm going to assume it's
So
cups.
I guess that's what or some sort of measurement. Parts, maybe, in a drink. So maybe 3 to 2 parts. Based on your own perspective, you will find life spirit which transcends and far outweighs the effort or cost you have put into making of this product. So he's saying you make it and your bird's going to get fucking blown.
Yeah, your shit's going to get rocked and it's worth murdering all those toads.
A whole pot of toads to do it.
A pot of toads.
And this wasn't necessarily uncommon, and alchemists, but also folk healers, were utilizing this excretion from toads for somewhat pragmatic ways. Now, we know, if we have looked at the history of persecution of witches, that oftentimes witches were the healers. The cunning folk. And sometimes people loved you and they needed you, and then other times they murdered you by strangling you and burned your body. And it just kind of depended on the mood, But it seems the rearing of toads and the specific feeding of them from insects from the garden, specifically certain insects that might be eating things from plants with properties, like slugs that were eating nightshade. They would feed that to the toads, which will then soak into their body and add to the poison. And now you can say, maybe there was some nefarious purposes back at that. The recent historical witch episode, apparently there was a gaggle that was doing some kind of shady witchcraft shit.
What did they say? They had a pig of poison. What was the pig? The pig was the container. The measurement. Very confusing. And so there was also, though, it was being used for medicinal reasons. Now, whether or not it was safe to use or being done, but still, it was it wasn't even for magic. It was no, we're going to use this for healing powders and shit. And that, though, being associated so much in folk medicine, the toad poison, powdered toads, all that shit, of course it got associated with witchcraft, because witchcraft and folk medicine touch tips a lot of the time. And you also had secret societies that were doing shit with toads. And even in Shakespearean works, such as Macbeth, you have witches utilizing toad magic. And he in the work As You Like It, also by Shakespeare, he talks about the toadstone in their heads. So this was all very known in Europe, this properties of toads and being associated with witches, but also with alchemy and making you fucking trip your balls off, but also used in medicines. So you could tell, you could see the path of getting associated with witches, And there's lots of interesting European toad facts. And in fact, there is one such as this old belief, which was based on the belief that because both toads and spiders were venomous, they had such a hatred towards each other, because of knowing they're both each poisonous and there's not room in this town for the both of us, that they would immediately, if they met along their way, would fight to the death. Fight to the death. Okay. I love this. This is my favorite. This is my favorite lore.
And if you are unlucky enough to find a toad in your house, because that toad might just be a fucking witch, or a witch's familiar, or a bad omen. But interestingly, coming upon a toad in the wild was sometimes deemed lucky, unless they crossed your path from the left. Don't want to do that. Okay. So you can kind of see here, the toad fear be flip-flopping all over the place.
Remember that toad we found in the woods? No, that was a turtle. Never mind.
That was the sage turtle. Yes.
Yes.
And this is still in Europe. We haven't even gotten into the whole of North, Central, and South America and the uses of toad and frog poison, which has been utilized for its expansive psychoactive properties, especially getting on down into South America and Central America forever. So long. And really,
licking the toad.
If we can learn a thing or two about human history, magical or not, if something has drugs in it, humans are going to find a way to get them out. Yeah. And they're going to use them. And it's proposed that the Olmec people were using the toxin for mind-altering reasons and rituals. And that's amazing because the Olmec predate the Maya. So we're are getting really far back there, like the usage of this. And so it was discovered quite early on and being used. And also arrow points would be tipped with the poison, which I don't exactly know the reason for that, but I feel like that would be very useful for subduing game, small game, especially quickly.
Oh, okay. I just thought like stabbing people. Okay.
Yeah, or just to get up. That's how you get people high, is you just jab them with an arrow.
Yeah. Why not? You gotta be into it. You gotta really want it.
And I don't know if that was the reason, but it made sense to me. Like their toxin is pretty potent on small creatures, especially. But let's get to today, because rising in popularity today, not without consequence, is the Sonoran desert toad.
Oh.
And which is native to Arizona. And it is now under severe population threat because the smoking of the crystallized toad poison is being turned somewhat into like lucrative kind of capitalistic ceremonies that people can charge for, similar to like how you can do ayahuasca in Dallas now, which is really strange, and which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, which is just kind of like, this is kind of getting off topic a little bit, but a PSA to really watch your ass, but because of this, people are legitimately stealing these frogs from their natural habitat to the point that it is pushing the populations towards collapse. And along with this, the harvesting of the toxin causes the toad to be stressed. They release it as a protective response. So they're going to have to feel stress and terror, feel defensive, which just kind of sucks, especially when you're doing it like on a business scale. There's apparently synthetic versions, which are identical. No difference. And from what I could tell, the only people speaking out against them were the ones charging a shit pile of money selling the true toad poison. Okay. But in any event, the compound, which is 5-MeO-DMT, which is the poison of the Sonoran desert toad.
DMT?
It doesn't seem like we're just like swimming in legality here, as it is. But it is a growing field that is worth watching, especially because you have pretty unscrupulous people, and of course not everyone, but some putting on these ceremonies with these unregulated compounds, and it can be very dangerous. And also keeping toads in high concentrations together, because some people are then like, oh, we'll just farm the toads, but for the poison. But that doesn't end great a lot of the time either, because they're very susceptible to funguses because they're not made to be kept in big mass. It's just not natural conditions. So just know that. And listen, I'm not one to look down on a psychedelic transformational spiritual experience. I'm not the guy to look down on you for that. I promise. Yeah. I've had some, but
no.
It's like, is this the way? Especially when you know what's going into it.
If it was as simple as wandering up on this toad, picking it up gently in your little barefoot, Rhiannon dress that you're wearing out in the woods,
sure,
and licking a toad, setting it back down gently, and then having a trip, that's fine. But it doesn't seem like you want to essentially get a bunch of toads and then hook them up to battery, put little batteries on their nipples and shock them into terror.
Well, you're essentially, the term is milking. You milk the toads.
Ew! They
and
actually, oh.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You
God.
don't just want to, and this is something you don't just want to play with because it is a poison. Like you can react to it. And so when it comes to just being like, oh, go harvest your own, I don't recommend that. Like leave the toads alone.
Oh no, I'm saying if it was that simple,
Oh, if you could just be like, hello, little toad, can I have some of your drugs? And it's like, yeah,
take
and
my
you
drugs.
lick it and you're done. Yeah, thank you, toad. And then you could give it like a little cricket or something.
Oh yeah,
and move on. It'd be great.
But it doesn't seem like it's that easy. So
unfortunately, it's not working like that. Yeah, and I feel like, especially, like we must consider the earth and spirits of what we're taking in for these experiences, especially if you're talking about these transformative, psychedelic experiences.
That essence. If I don't want the frog nipple battery zap drug, that seems like
I would just
no.
Feel a little bummed, especially considering that some of these shady modern operations, like I don't need a toad to be farmed to have an experience like that, or scared or harmed, because there's other options now, and there's also like, and this is kind of getting, especially deviating into the more ayahuasca concept, but like there's oftentimes a lot of appropriation and liberty that's taken with these like random people putting these ceremonies on who are named Dave or Linda. And like I did an experiment today, and first one right out of the gate was exactly what I expected to happen. And I Googled ayahuasca Dallas. And bunch of shit came up, of course, found a website, and I read for 10 minutes the longest fucking page of bullshit. And like, I swear to you, I read for 10 minutes, and not once was it explained of the historical and cultural uses of ayahuasca by the people of Amazonia. Like, it was nuts, dude. There were 2 sentences in 10 minutes worth of reading, and I read pretty fast. There was one sentence that just said, it's these 2 plants that come from the Amazon, and another one that said, it comes from the Amazon. That's it. And that's fucked, and like, though not a toad, it's a similar vein of this like shamanistic tourism that's pretty gross, that comes to like wallpapering over the origins in a way that is continued colonization, really, truly, which even in the Amazon, you have problems of like a bunch of like white business people coming and running ayahuasca retreats there. Like, and making it so, but it's like the native peoples aren't even involved, right? Like, it's just like, this is, guys, come on. And it's just, especially with what the people of Amazonia have been put through, like to just be like, go to this place in Dallas. It's like, oh, you're just going to have this wonderful mind opening experience. And it's just like, God damn it, guys. And I don't know. It just
this feels up for everybody, man.
It feels gross. Yes. And with the Sonoran toad, in particular, it's really boomed, and it's causing problems. And it's an industry, unfortunately, that's starting to develop now, like this new retreat center vein built around these toads. And I mean, people are charging $1,000 to smoke this toad poison. And like, just be careful out there, guys. Like, there's spiritual. I think it's so easy. And we talk about this all the time when you first get involved in spiritualism, that you think that everybody in it, because it's the spiritual avenue, is going to be good.
Yeah.
And they're not. And there are grifters and flim-flam people everywhere. And there's also people that, for the sake of money, under a guise of spiritualism, will do harm, And again, I am all for having an experience. But luckily, we have the ability in today's day and age to research
technology.
And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But let's close on something a bit more uplifting and interesting and special and magical, which is the metamorphosis aspect of toads from a magical perspective. Toads completely transform. They're not like, like a baby or a puppy that's born, where you're like, you have 4 legs, you have a head, 2 eyes, like you're going to grow up to be a person. You're going to grow up to be a dog.
You're just a smaller version of what you're going to be.
Yeah, this is not that. They are born with a completely different respiratory setup. They have gills initially. They don't have limbs. And over time, their body changes while they're still using it, which is interesting. It's different from butterflies, that essentially melt and then reassemble. The tadpole still has to operate as it's just growing these weird limbs, which are certainly changing its swimming feel, and all of these things. And
puberty for a toad is crazy.
It's wild, dude. And then they develop lungs during that time. And what's that transition process like? It's just fascinating.
It's like hitting fast forward on evolution.
So quickly, in 4 weeks. And I just imagine what that's like to continuously need to adapt to a rapidly changing body. And not only just growing, because it's even a lot when you're growing, but changing form, growing shit out of you, legs sprouting out of your sides, and you just got to keep on swimming and deal with that. And
I got these now.
I got legs, they're multiplying. And I'm losing control. They might feel like they're losing control, Change can make you feel like you're losing control. And it's a really remarkable journey that they go through, and they go through it as babies. And even as little toadlets, little miniature baby teeny tiny toadlets, they have a long road ahead to survive. And nature shows us what adaptability truly looks like. And with toads, we can see what creatures can handle. And these are not creatures of teeth and claw. They rely solely on poisons. And they'll also puff up as a last resort. Puff up and make themselves look a little bit bigger.
Cute.
But I just really admire that's their only defense, because they have to survive 2 completely different biomes before reaching adulthood. They have to survive the water, and then they have to survive the land for 2 years or 3, to become adults. And I think we can see ourselves in that in a lot of different ways. I think we have all had to pull ourselves from a biome of some description, whether it's a biome of origin or a biome that shaped us. And we have to crawl out of it because it doesn't serve us anymore. We've grown out of it.
Biome of Origin's a cool band name.
A biome of origin. And the toad sends us a message that, moving on as we grow, leaving perhaps what was comfortable, what was right once is the right choice, because it's not right any longer. And that's okay, because it's natural. And it can be hard to adapt to new places, especially if they're very different from what we're used to. But sometimes it suits the growth and change we've experienced along our path. Toads grow their lungs so that they can leave. And once they grow those lungs, they can't live in the water anymore. It's just the way of it. They have to move on. And
you ever seen All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Oh yeah, bro.
When
long time ago.
Can never come back.
It's sad. And they can't. And we experience that in our life. Sometimes old places, old friends, old interests don't seem to fit anymore. And it very well could be just because we've simply changed too much and they've not changed with us. And it doesn't mean that they're bad necessarily. It doesn't imply that the water is bad, that the toad has to leave it, but it's not serving the toad anymore. The toad has changed. Yeah. And that's the part of life for the toad. And it's a part of life for us too. It doesn't make it easy, because change is rarely easy. And metamorphosis especially is not easy. But the end result of metamorphosis is something completely new and different. And this creature doesn't go about acting like it did pre-metamorphosis, just like how the butterfly doesn't go back munching on leaves because it doesn't have the mouth for that anymore. It can't.
Sometimes it doesn't have a mouth at all.
And sometimes it has no mouth. And the toad doesn't hop back into the water like tadpole days because it can't breathe. And these changes aren't bad. They're beautiful. They're purposeful, but they can't be reversed, only accepted. And toads in their metamorphosis, their exit from the water as little toadlets, setting off into the unknown world of land, it shows us the importance of moving on when we have outgrown something. And it doesn't mean the thing we outgrew was negative, or maybe it is, but it's something that maybe we just can't fit with anymore. The pieces are no longer compatible with who we have grown into. And this comes with development. So I think the humble toad can teach us a lot. I think we can embrace the growth and the change and know that it's part of life to outgrow the skin that you are in. And when you do, you can step into a new skin. And it's a skin that might be more appropriate for you now. This new body that is just what you have developed into. And from there, you can go forth brand new, not worried about crawling back into the pond you developed in, because after a metamorphosis, that pond just isn't going to be healthy for you anymore. You don't want to go back into that dirty pond water. You've grown out of the dirty pond water. And I think we can think about that with the toad and their traverse across land with their cute little stubby bodies that did not look like that when they hatched.
When do they get the butts?
When their tail sucks in. I think it was it's shortly before they leave the water. Because when they're toadlets, they don't have tails.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, that's toads.
I love them. I love them so much.
I did. But do you see what I mean? Lots of different avenues in that one. I couldn't.
Yes.
Lots of spokes.
Yes.
But anyway, long story short, leave your toads alone. Respect your toad.
Yeah.
And they're sweet little friends, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe nowadays we don't need to farm them so we can scare them and get high.
Yeah, let's keep them out of the scare farms.
Please. It's like Monsters, Inc. Like when they scare the children. Unfortunately, I don't think you can make them laugh.
I was thinking this whole time, I was like, what is it? What's the thing in pop culture where people get like forced to do things to extract and I think it's that. I think it's Monsters, Inc. Right?
Also,
is there another one?
Yeah, it's Monsters, Inc. Also, Joe Rogan has smoked the toad crystal. So,
of course.
Do you want to be in that camp too? You know, do you want to be in that club?
Do you want to be
mushrooms.
in the Joe Rogan?
Go fucking do something else.
That's all. You didn't have to say all the other shit. You could have started with that, man.
Yeah. Joe Rogan does toad dust. And there's synthetic options. If you want to sample it, you're your own person. I don't think it's legal. But synthetic is just exactly the same, guys. It's exactly the same. You know what's beautiful about it? No toad had to shake in its little boots to make it.
The image of a scared toad is a sad image to me. Well, thank you. I love a toad. I love hearing about a toad. I love frog and toad.
I love frog and toad. I have a frog and toad shirt that I got from a friend of the show that just says "fuck the police" and it's frog and toad, and I think that it is hysterical. It is so surreal.
Yeah. I want to be drawn, you and I, in the style of frog and toad.
I read the hell out of those books.
I loved frog and toad, dude. That whole vibe, the corduroy vibe, the cottagecore before it was cool, the goblin core vibe. Give me those gay frogs.
Yeah, and they're illustrated so beautifully.
Yeah,
like I had one of my teachers, I think it was 3rd grade, had like all of them, and I wore the wheels off of those. I went through them all the time.
Oh yeah. I miss them. I hope they're doing okay.
Do you think that Frog would lick Toad's back?
Yes. 100%.
When he wanted to get lit?
Yeah. 100%. And I think Toad is an expert at rolling joints.
Toad probably is, because I don't think Toad would want to sample his own sauce. You know, so he'd just roll up a nice little J while Frog is tripping on toad juice. Yeah.
Cute. I love this new reality for them.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a really, really lovely life together, Frog and Toad. And I'm glad that it included some psychedelic breakthroughs.
Yeah. Wow. What a journey we've been on today.
I'm tired. This is long. We've had a longer one today.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this is one of the episodes where the editing is minimal and we just go,
We know what this is.
All right, guys. Let's talk about the live again on Friday. Let me pull up this calendar here. This Friday, the 22nd at 6 p.m. That is 6 p.m. Central Time. We have a Facebook Live. You can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/WBAH to join up. And we're going to get a little fall and equinox spell going to all do at the same time on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to do it. It's going to be fun. And if you are not in the group, or if you're a Patreon and you're not in the group yet, request to join it. We will let everybody in before the live begins. And it'll be a good time. And I'm excited for us to decide what it's going to be, and then I'll do it together and rip a hole through the fabric of reality.
I'm excited. I love when we get all the brains together and everybody puts their shit together and comes up with something exciting.
Exciting.
If you are having problems being let into the group, we hear you sometimes, guys. You make sure you're answering the questions. So I will say that. You have to answer the questions to get let into the group. It is very exclusive.
And that goes for the main Coven page too. Like, if you invite someone to the group, tell them to answer the questions. If they don't answer the questions, we're not letting them in. There's too many bot accounts, guys. We have to be that way.
Yeah.
It keeps everybody safe in the group and keeps a lot of the riffraff out. So please
keeps a lot
answer
of the people who are
the questions.
I'm going to join the witch groups and out everybody. Keeps a lot
like keeps it out, So just give those a little, they're easy. But please answer them. Otherwise, you're not getting in. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, we got some guard dogs looking out for the group,
we do.
So,
got 2 new mods even. We've got that all going
one of them
over
isn't
there.
Even from America.
Yeah, we got our first international mod to keep an eye on things when our lights are out and their lights are on.
Are we hot shit now because of that?
Hot shit. I feel a little bit
hot shit.
Like hot shit. But so those are the groups. If you want to hop on over there, hop on over there. There's all kinds of shit getting talked about in either of those groups all of the time. Kush Cap is finished. Oh, yeah, same vein. Yeah.
Kush Cap is finished. However, we do have the next season coming to you tomorrow. If we have to watch it, so do you. So go.
I feel like my innards are a tangled coil.
I haven't rewatched it yet. Dude, have you gotten to the end?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you not remember my string of messages?
It was a beautiful string. I remember at one point you said you were going to kick a tree in half. Join us for Simp Cap of what did we land on? Simply Virgin? Captivating Virgin? River,
I did.
Simply River.
There's actually a handful of pretty good options.
What was it? Simplicity in the river. I don't remember.
Simplicity, River of Simplicity.
That's right.
Simpleton River, I think is a really good time.
Yeah.
We'll put it up for a poll. We'll post it in the group because we have a handful that you came up with.
Of Simpleton River.
We have Virgin Captivating, Virgin Cap, Simply River, Simply Virgin, Simp Virgin, Virgin Simp, Captivating Virgin, and River of Simplicity.
I love Simp Virgin. For some reason, Simp Virgin is so much better than Virgin Simp to me. I don't know why.
So we'll let y'all, we'll poll it in the group, and y'all can decide it for us. But that starts tomorrow. I don't want to do it because I did finish the season. And I am still tired, from it, and I don't want to go through it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta.
So episode 1 and 2 tomorrow. Know this. Episode 1 and 2 tomorrow. You fucking River of Simplicity people that are coming to listen.
This is not a Cushiel listen. This is not a Queen Charlotte listen. We are not.
No.
We are not enthralled with the content. We are not having a good time. If irritainment's your thing, that's what's up. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to commiserate together. And bro, I'm already getting so much good fodder for like because we are going to have a segment each episode of positive feedback because we don't want to be too one-sided here. I have organically in the wild found so much.
Okay.
So
I need to start
we're
doing
going to
that.
we're going to try to be we're going to give it that perspective. Come listen tomorrow. We talk about episode 1 and 2, season 5, Virgin River. I don't give a shit. Come listen. We're going to talk about it.
That's the tagline for this series or this season is like, it's Virgin River. Fuck you.
I have thrown my cush cap gloves off.
Yes.
And at
Turn
this
the
point,
brain
I'm
off.
bare knuckle boxing. Yeah,
Yeah,
bare
yeah,
knuckle
yeah.
boxing. I'm ready to just beat the shit out of Virgin River.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let all of the rage and exhaustion and all the overstimulation from the Crucial series, like, bleed into this.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow
Later,
if you show
skater.
up. And
If you have eyebrows.
bye, boy.
We need our toes.